FPL Game Week 24 team selection. It's a double game week, the most exciting time in the FPL calendar, and I've made 3 free transfers. So in today's video, we'll be going through a review of how Game Week 23 went, my lineup for Game Week 24, why my captain has been picked, including the triple captain, including potential chip strategy going forward. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe, and let's get into it. What's up? It's FPL Vert where arrows go green, but unfortunately they didn't go green this week as I got around an 11k red arrow down to 106k, which is not the end of the world. It was only 4 points off the safety score, which would have been bridged if I'd gone for an extra 5 points, captaining Isak over Salah. I also didn't own Gakpo. I dilly-dallied on the decision as I thought Alisson would be enough for the triple up, which I was wrong, which we'll talk about in the next slide. And also didn't own Mbumo, which is someone that always hurts my rank, and I think that hole is finally being plugged. So we'll talk about that in the next slide. As mentioned, I've made 3 free transfers, and I can confirm that Alisson, Gordon and Jackson have left the building. For a number of reasons. When I brought in Alisson in Game Week 18, it was in preparation for this double game week, because of course we knew that the Liverpool-Everton game had to be rescheduled. So I thought I was going to be happy with Alisson, Trent as Salah as my triple up. But 1, Liverpool have only kept 2 clean sheets in the 8 games since Alisson returned to the first team. And 2, the ceiling will always be higher with an attacker. So I think that it was quite silly for me to go with a goalkeeper. Maybe I should have gone for somewhere else and kept it open to go to Gakpo, especially when they were playing Ipswich at home. But as you can see in the next transfers that I brought in, Pickford's come in because I think he's got home fixtures which are going to be great. Mbumo is just an all-round threat. He's the perfect FPL asset in many ways. He plays 90 minutes, he takes penalties, he takes set pieces, he's just got a million route to points. And of course Gakpo, because he has the double, he's in great form, and he's playing Wolves at home next week. So into the team selection for double game week 24, and Jordan Pickford starts as the return of David Moyes has found Everton some form with their away win at Brighton last week, the first time that they've recorded successive league victories since April 2024. This has been built on their defensive solidity, having conceded 3 goals in the last 3 game weeks. He has 2 home fixtures in the double game week against Leicester and Liverpool, which will be the final league Merseyside derby at Goodison Park ahead of their move to Bradley Moore Dock next season. Trent Alexander-Arnold starts as well, and across Liverpool's last 3 away matches, Trent has recorded a goal, an assist and 2 clean sheets, which was worth 28 points, which bodes very well for Liverpool's double game week, seeing as the Redmen are travelling on the road to both Bournemouth and Everton. Trent leads defenders for both shots and big chances created across the last 6 game weeks, and even though the Reds face an informed Bournemouth side on an 11-match unbeaten run in the Premier League, and also in impressive scoring form, having found the net in their past 5 straight games, including 4 goals at St James's Park and 5 goals most recently against third place Forest in their last 2 games. But Everton aren't scoring at the same rate as Bournemouth. However, with the Cherries' 5 goals last game week, as many goals as Everton have managed in the last 6 game weeks combined. Lewis Hall welcomes Fulham in strong form at St James's Park. Indeed, he's returned in each of his last 4 home games, totaling 31 points across that run. The Magpies have kept 3 clean sheets in their last 4 home matches, but Fulham have only failed to score in 1 away game this season, and that was on the opening day away to Old Trafford, so probably best to hope for attacking returns this week. Gabriel Magalhaes hosts Premier League champions Man City in the Super Sunday slot this weekend. The 2 runners-up battled it out in a very eventful 2-2 draw at the Etihad earlier this season, a game in which Gabriel actually scored. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 4 meetings with Man City and will be looking to extend that record. Mohamed Salah has netted 7 goals and supplied 5 assists in his last 6 away matches, which averages at 12.2 points. In fact, across the whole season, he's tallied 11 goals and 8 assists in all 11 matches, which totals at 127 points, averaging 11.6 points per match. So while it's not the most attractive fixtures, I guess, it's definitely an easy captain. And as far as the triple captain goes, my triple captain will be active. It's not activated yet, but the way I like to play my chips, you want to use a triple captain in a double game week, you want to use your bench boost in a double game week, and you most certainly want to play your assistant manager in a double game week. So seeing as there's only going to be 3 double game weeks this season, 24 has been caused by the rescheduled Liverpool versus Everton game. Game week 33 will be a double game week because there's going to be a blank in game week 29, as the Carabao Cup final will take place on that weekend. So those 2 games will have to be rescheduled as well. And then game week 36 will be a double because of the FA Cup. So 33 will be a double, but it will only be the 2 games that are being rescheduled because of the final. And 36 will be a larger double, well, it should be anyway, because you're expecting the Premier League sides to make the FA Cup knockouts, right? So when those games get rescheduled, there'll be a larger double in 36, and that's when I think the bench boost should be played. So I'd want to use my wildcard in game week 35. I'd want to free hit into 29. So yeah, the triple captain has to be played this week, basically, if you want to play your triple captain in a double game week, which I do. So that's that. And it's not like Salah's going to come blank twice. I mean, when's the last time he blanked twice in a row? I don't think it's happened this season. So very simple decision there. Cole Palmer has got 3 goals in his last 7 game weeks, and he actually ranks only behind Mbeumo, Foden and Salah for expected goal involvement amongst all midfielders in that time period. So I can't really understand why he's the 5th most chance for that player this game week. He's even dropped in price, which is incredible to see. But it's actually better for all owners because, you know, the less people own, the more points for us, right? The Blues welcome a West Ham side that have conceded 14 goals in the past 5 game weeks, with only bottom club Southampton faring worse in that time period. Morgan Rogers warmed up for a trip to the Molineux with a hat-trick in the Champions League. Wolves have lost 4 league games in succession, conceding 10 goals in that process. Only Ipswich and Southampton conceded more across that time span. My perennial rank threat, Bryan Mbeumo, has got 4 goals in his past 5 game weeks, and only Kluivert and Foden have more points amongst midfielders in that time. Spurs' defence has been breached 18 times in the past 7 game weeks, and only Ipswich have conceded more in that time span. Cody Gakpo has got 10 goals and assists in his last 11 games in all competitions, most recently dispatching a penalty in the Champions League against the ex-club PSV in a largely rotated lineup, with Liverpool's qualification in the Champions League already secured. He only was given 52 minutes, which means he's only played 120 from the last 180 possible minutes for Liverpool. So I'm confident that he starts both games in this double, especially as there's an FA Cup fixture against bottom side in the 2nd tier Plymouth between the 2 league games. Isak has returned 81 points in the last 8 game weeks, which is more than anyone in that time span, and he has 5 goals and 3 assists in his last 5 home games. So looking for him to continue his good form. And of course, Chris Wood hosts a pretty out of sorts Brighton side in game week 24 as well. So that's the lineup for double game week. The triple captainship will be activated before the deadline. Probably won't do it until I post my team, but it will be active for sure. Salah will be leaving for Kluivert next week for sure, as Bournemouth travel to Southampton, which is an opportune time for James Hill, who's third on my bench, to return from injury. On the 18th of January, it was reported that Iriola said that James Hill will be out for 3 to 4 weeks, and game week 25 falls around 4 weeks, the higher bound of that estimation. So hopefully James Hill will be back for that week, because Lewis Hall goes away to Man City next week, and I obviously don't want to play O'Shea, who's going to be playing Aston Villa, I believe. So pretty easy picks at the moment, and that's how we're lining up. So if you have any questions, please drop them into the comments, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Twitter as well. I think I've changed my settings on Twitter so that you can DM me straight away, you don't have to like tag me or anything. And that's it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you very soon. Good luck for everyone for this week. Double game weeks are the best time. Thanks.